Hey there everybody, HellZerg here once again with another game of Starcraft 2. This will be a Protoss vs Zerg here on Tal'Darim Altar LE, and it will be from the North American ladders. Spawning first at the top left is the red Protoss. His name is RevFaYDe. He's actually ranked 200th in the North American Grandmaster League, so right there at the bottom of Grandmasters, but still in Grandmasters, so still very impressive. He has a record of 144 wins along with 147 losses, which is right around a 49.5% win rate for our Protoss player. His opponent in this game will be the aptly named blue Zerg, spawning at the bottom left. His name is HellZerg. He's actually in the Masters League, ranked number 10 in the Urun Kappa division with 294 wins along with 289 losses, which is a 50.4% win rate for our Zerg player. So both these players winning about as often as they lose. We shall see how they do today on Tal'Darim Altar LE, one of the biggest maps in the entire map pool for ladder play from Blizzard. As we see this probe right here, going to be super sad about going the wrong direction, not going to be able to scout his opponent out for quite a while. RevFaYDe won't be happy about that, but it is a fact of life if you go the wrong direction when you're scouting at the beginning. This is Tal'Darim Altar, as I said, and your main base connects straight into your natural expansion right here, and they're both defended by one pretty wide choke, made that way just to defend against early game wall-off shenanigans from your opponent. Your natural connects right into your third base over here, which does have a set of destructible rocks that you must get rid of before you can set up a nexus or hatchery. There is, however, an alternative third base up here that is pretty close to your main base just because it's right over here by flight. However, if you want to get there by land, you have to go down into your natural and then down this ramp over here and then around this cliff all the way up here, and taking one final turn you can then arrive at your third base. So if you choose to take that base, it's pretty difficult to defend by land. We'll see if that comes into play in this game today, as we see the Protoss player deciding to go forge first just because he has not seen what his opponent is doing and he wants to be prepared in case there is some early game aggression. However, what his opponent is doing is getting a hatchery just now underway, since he is confident in his ability to macro up, seeing that his opponent does not have any rush on the way since he did go forge first. And his hatchery is just now starting to spawn as this Protoss scout has finally arrived and is going to see that hatchery. We'll see how RevFaYDe decides to respond to having seen his opponent expand. It does look like he's saving up 300 or 400 resources rather, going to be getting that nexus up himself. This probe just making one final trip of minerals, probably going to be going back down there, and it does look like he's going to be trekking right here and setting up a nexus. So our Protoss player is deciding to respond to his opponent's expansion with one of his own. So we will shortly see just how that goes for our Protoss player, as the hatchery for the Zerg player is around 2/3 of the way done. He also already has a spawning pool, having gotten that before that hatchery got made. So he is making some Zerglings on the field right now. They're just kind of chilling right here behind the mineral line of his natural. This Overlord just floating around, making sure that his opponent's not doing anything crazy. This Nexus is about 1/4 of the way done. He is going to be now getting his first gateway up. Does not have anything that can make units quite yet, because of course he did go that forge first and made a cannon just to defend his base in the early game, as this hatchery has just now spawned, spreading that lovely creep all around, and we have Zerglings just kind of running up and seeing what they can do in the way of taking map control. These two Zerglings going to be camping out at this watchtower to provide some vision for his friends back home, as we have this gateway about halfway done, and this Nexus getting close to being completed, as this Overlord is still just flying around, seeing what he can do in the manner of scouting around the space. This probe making a few more trips just from the naturals, mineral patches, up back into the mains Nexus. But this Nexus will shortly be finished, as we have a Baneling next going up for the Zerg player. So he's seen that expansion for our Protoss, and he might have some thoughts of an early game Baneling bust, as this Baneling nest is about 3/4 of the way to being completed. He does have some Zerglings just chilling right here below the ramp up to the Protoss player's natural expansion. And the Protoss is now finishing off his wall with a Cybernetics core. I believe there is room right here for a Zealot, which is exactly where he has this Zealot rallied. So we will have a little bit of a wall to prevent its Zergling run-bys. However, it is not exactly Baneling proof, as there are 5 Banelings now morphing in for our Zerg player. So we'll see just how effective this attack is, as our Zerg player has seen the Protoss expand and is trying to attack in that sweet spot time window before that Nexus pays for itself, and trying to punish the Protoss player before he is able to get those resources. We see Banelings coming in here, one getting taken out by the cannon, but the rest making the Zealot run away, and that Zealot will get hit These banelings all going off on this pylon and this cannon as well. Pros being pulled off the line, trying to hold off his aggression, but more Zerglings now streaming in. RevFaYDe is deciding to attack right here with a bunch of Zerglings. These probes are in serious trouble as they will all die, it looks like, to these Zerglings. That cannon going down as well, and still Zerglings flowing up to this base. RevFaYDe is in some serious trouble as there is nothing to defend his main, rather, and he does decide to rage quit, it seems, saying sarcastically, well, aren't you talented, to his Zerg opponents? But the fact of the matter is, HellZerg responded very well to seeing this Nexus going up for RevFaYDe, getting that Baneling nest up and running, morphing some Banelings in right here, and then able to charge into the Protest player's base and take out everything he had built up. So, the Protest player just was outplayed in this game by our Zerg player. Well done, HellZerg. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys next time.